Hey there, warm welcome to the 2021 edition of the ROC England. This is the race brief. My name's John, or JB. With me is Dave. We both are at Total Try Training, and we are the coaching partner for the ROC organisation. So our job today is to share with you some key points and the safety elements of the ROC Race England 2021. There are some to-dos, some not to-dos, the equipment you might need, the rules, and how we can best all have a great day together and to stay safe. What this does not do is remove any need for you, the athletes, to read cover to cover, front to back, every word, the race pack and the race information that the organisers will have sent to you. We're not going to cover every word. This is just sort of the highlights and the lowlights, the things that might get skipped over. So Dave's going to cover the administration, checking in, T1, the swim, a few transition rules, things like that. I'll then take you from Lake Windermere up to Great Langdale. Stop laughing, Dave. Up to the mountain to T2, Scarfell Pike and back, and then I'll take you back down to T4. Well, Dave will then take you through that final transition onto the run, and then just the amazing celebrations at the end of the event for a job well done for everybody. So, Dave, over to you.
What's up, guys? Dave here. Yeah, I'm just going to take you quickly through registration first. So ideally you'll register on Friday. The guys at ROC have said if you can't make the Friday registration, to let them know. So email them as soon as possible and they can set up a time for you to register on race morning. So yeah, registration Friday between 5 p.m. and 9 p.m. at the Stoller campus. You'll be given your race pack and your race assets. So just make sure that you are aware of all your race assets and what to do with them. That includes your timing chip, bike stickers, helmet stickers, things like that. It's all in the race brief. So yeah, just make sure you know what you're doing with each of the individual assets. The main thing that you'll be given that I want to go over at the registration is the mountain kit bag. So that's what you're going to use for storing your kit at T2 before you head up Scarfell Pike. You will have a list in the race briefing. It's all in red. So you really need to have those things. They are compulsory. If you don't have them, you may not be allowed to race. Okay, so make sure you read out all those things. It includes waterproof jackets, waterproof trousers, things like that. So just make sure that you've got all those things in your mountain kit bag, and then hand that back to them at registration and they will transport it to T2 for you. So you don't even have to worry about that again. Race morning. Okay, so transition opens at 6 a.m. And you've got until 7:45 to rack your bike and set up your transition. The race starts at 8, so make sure that you're not just walking into transition at 7:40, racking your bike, and then all of a sudden you realize, I've actually got no time to get to the start of the race. That can be a bit stressful. It's happened to the best of us, but give yourself plenty of time, get there as early as you can. Okay, so to get into the transition zone, you'll need to have your helmet on and you'll need to have your race number or your timing chip available for the marshals to see, or else they won't let you in. Setting up T1, it's real straightforward. Pop your bike on where they tell you to. You also have a number on the racks where you will have to put all your kit. The bike should be racked either by saddle or handlebars. They will tell you if they have a preference as to how to rack the bike. You can take in a 40-litre bag, and that's to store all your kit in, so it keeps it all nice and tidy so it doesn't get in the way of any of the other athletes and it doesn't get lost. Okay, so just make sure you're using a bag or a box to keep everything all nice and organised. And the one thing that's a bit different to a normal triathlon, you'll need another pair of trainers at T1. Okay, that's for the final trail run through the woods, unless you're going to take your trainers back from the mountain stage. But I would just put another pair of trainers in that T1. The swim. Okay, the swim, in my opinion, it's the best part of the race. 1.5 kilometer swim in Windermere, lovely lake to swim in. So yeah, get yourself G'd up for it. It's a mass start. You start on the grass, you run down to the water. If you're a wee bit unsure about the swim and you don't like swimming in big groups, hang back. Don't get stuck in the middle of it, because it can be a wee bit of a whitewash if you're in the middle with all the swimmers. So hang back, go to the sides, and find your comfortable place and enjoy it, because it'll be super fun. Couple of rules with a swim: make sure you're wearing the race cap, so you're not covering the race cap with your own tri-team or whatever, so that the ROC race cap is on top and on show for the marshals to see. Also, they're normally quite visible, so it allows them to see where you are in the water. Other rules: if you get into any bother, lie on your back, put your hand up, okay, and a marshal will come over to you, or a lifeguard will come over to you. They'll be in a paddleboard or a kayak, and they'll help you out. If it's just to take a breather, that's fine. You can hold on to a boat, but you cannot make any forward movement while holding onto a boat, okay? So just make sure that you stop still, and then you start swimming again. The swim course, really straightforward. The start is marked by 2 flags. As you run from the grass into the water, you'll swim straight out, and then you make a left-hand turn going north up the lake. Okay, then it basically looks like a bit of a paddle shape, where you swim, you kind of follow the coast or the shoreline, and then you come back around in a nice straight line back to the start. And then the last buoy that you'll see will also be the first buoy that you swam around. So you make a right turn, head back to the shore, and again, you'll be marked by 2 flags on the slipway as you leave the water. Okay, when you leave the water, just take a few minutes to steady your feet, because they can be a wee bit wobbly after you've swam. Okay, and then it's a 200-meter run back to transition. First rule of transition: don't touch your bike until you put your feet on. Yeah, it's easy to get caught out, even holding onto the bike to balance. Okay, get that helmet on, clip it up, and then you can touch your bike. You can do whatever. Okay, other rule: no nudity. It might be tempting, just don't do it. It's not appropriate for transition. Okay, once you've got your helmet on, you're ready to go, grab your bike and run to the dismount line, to the mount line, because you'll be mounting at this point. Run to the mount line, cross the line, and then away you go, and JB will take you onto the bike course.
Okay, I'm going to use notes. Dave memorized all of that. He's pretty good. So helmet on before you touch your bike. Get through transition line, over the mountain line, on the bike, and off we go. Okay, it is 45.5 kilometers, as you should know by now, up to Great Langdon. And you'll be following green signs with a black arrow with the ROC written in the middle of it. I'm going to come back to the route and the signs in a minute. We've got some rules to cover first. British triathlon drafting rules. This is a long distance race, and so we have a 12-meter drafting zone. Some of you may be familiar with that. Others, that 12 meters begins at the front of your, the leading edge of your front wheel. And if there's an athlete in front of you, that 12 meters ends at the front of their bike, at the front of their front wheel. So, as we always say, if you think you're too close, you probably are. Take a bit of tension off the pedals, sit up, just drop back, because it's not worth it. When you come to make a pass, you can stay in the draft until you come to pass the athlete, but you've got 25 seconds from when you enter that 12-meter point to get past your athlete. So it's 25 seconds, not a lot of time. So choose your place wisely. If you can't make it through, you must drop back, and you must make a very deliberate effort to get out of that draft zone. We have penalties for drafting. Now, usually it's not deliberate, but should you get caught drafting, we have first penalty is 5 minutes. Second penalty is a further 5 minutes, and the third time you are caught in the draft zone, whether that's by accident or not, you will be disqualified. Now, there are marshals, there are very friendly marshals on the bike, and I'm sure if they can give you a little bit of a heads up that you're getting a bit close to the bike in front, they will, but they don't have to. So it's your responsibility to do that. The bike course, on your race information, there is a link to Map My Run, and that has the bike course, which has all the finer details and the ups and the downs and the twists and the turns. So please do go and check that. I think there's a link for the route out and the route back, but it's the same route. Okay, on the bike, open roads. There are no closed roads. There is no road management. There's nobody with signs stopping cars and waving people through. So it's your responsibility to navigate the course yourself in the right direction, and to abide by the highway code. Even on some junctions where we do have marshals waving you through, please take a moment, just get your head up, get off the bars, have a look around, ensure that it is actually safe. That part of the world, very busy, lots of tourists, lots of people going on with a million things in their minds. So they may not see you. So please just take a second just to be safe. All turnings or all junctions will be marshaled, but not all roundabouts. And one in particular is the Grenade roundabout on the A590. That will not have a marshal. So take particular attention to the vehicles on the road there. The signs that you will follow, as I said earlier, we have a green sign with a black arrow pointing one way or the other. It has got the ROC in green letters in the middle. So if you're riding along and a marshal doesn't tell you to turn left or right, keep going straight ahead. And if you don't see a ROC sign telling you to turn left or right, just keep going in the direction of your travel, and at some point you will find the next turning point. Okay. 45 k's later, we're approaching Stool End Farm, which is T2. Again, this is not a closed road. There is good visibility, but there may be some traffic on it. We can't guarantee that. The two things that you need to watch out for approaching T2 is we have a cattle grid. So slow yourself down, get a hold of the bars, come off the tri bars is my advice, and just get across those cattle grids safely. Remember those cattle grids, because when you've been up and come back down, you'll be going over those again. So that's the main point of thing to be aware of on the way in. We come to T2, we've got a dismount line, jump off in plenty of time. There's no point trying to get yourself a 2-minute penalty for going over the line or having to come back and recross it again. You will be directed from the dismount line to the racking area. Rack your bike where the number matches your race number or the number on your bike, either by the handlebars or the saddle, depending on what the requirement is. From there, you'll be directed to a marquee where we have your mountain bag. Now, Dave has covered the mountain bag, but as it's probably the most important thing on the whole race, I'm going to cover it again. So all of your equipment must fit in this drawstring bag. And we suggest a small trail running bag or a trail running vest or a lightweight rucksack, but it must all fit in this drawstring bag. Within it, we must have full body cover waterproofs with a hooded top and trousers, and we recommend tape seams, a hat, a buff and gloves, water bottle and carrier, water in the water bottle most likely, some emergency rations, something high energy. Kendall mint cake will be a favorite in that part of the world, lightweight and packed full of energy, foil blanket, high factor sun cream, and a whistle for attracting attention should you need it. In addition, you must carry the route map that will be issued to you, and you must carry a mobile phone with a full battery. Programmed into it is the Race HQ Safety HQ place, their number, which is 01758 714 002. That is written all over the race pack. But bear in mind that the first 3 kilometers of the run, it's a bit sketchy for phone signal. So as you're running along, be aware of where the marshals are and, things and people that you can then reference where you are should you need some help. Also in your bag, you will need your trail running shoes or your normal running shoes or whatever it is you like to run up the mountain, unless you are a barefoot runner, in which case, good luck. But everything must fit in your bag. And again, in addition to that is you can have a spare set of clothing, but only if it fits in. Within T2, you've gone in, you've got your bag, you've changed. You then take your bag and place it back on the hook, which has got your number on. You will then be looking for the run out sign. There'll be lots of people going that way, so you should be able to find it okay, and there will be marshals guiding you that way. You will then be directed to a path which takes you through Stool End Farm and then onto the trail which takes you up to Scafell Pike. It's 8.75 kilometers up and 8.75 kilometers back down. There will be a few sort of mountain trained marshals on the course at those key nav points where it is possible to go wrong. If it's a bit clagged in, if it's a bit grey and you can't see very well, they will have light sticks, the snap pen things, just to help you to find them. And there might be some on the course as well. Okay, so on the run, the lower section of the run, there's plenty of space so we can all pass safely, socially distanced without any problems at all. But then later on in the course, the steeper sections, the slower sections, there will be some level of communication between yourself and other athletes for passing. That said, the priority on the mountain is for those descending. They will be traveling at a high rate of knots and may not be able to stop in time to allow you to pass. So if you see somebody coming down the mountain, just step to the right, allow them to pass, give them a cheer, and then you can crack on. Maybe that's an opportunity to perhaps grab a drink or a bite to eat, which is the time to do it on the way up the mountain, the time when you'll be traveling a bit slower, digestion will be easier. So get the fluids in, get the food in on the way up. Trying to eat a Kendal mint cake on the way back down. Never tried it myself, but it doesn't sound easy. So that's it. Okay, another key point for the whole day is there is a 6-kilometer checkpoint at Esk House Shelter. Looks German there. Esk House Shelter. Okay, if you are there before 12 and you want to carry on, you will be allowed to carry on to the top of Scafell Pike. If, however, you arrive after 12, you will be politely asked to spin around and head back down the mountain. This is clearly stated in the race pack and the race rules, and it's there for your safety and everybody's safety on the mountain. So it's a great achievement to get that far. It really is. It's you're almost at the top of Scafell Pike. Take a moment to take the views in, and then please just turn around and head back down towards T2, which by the time you get there will have become T3. If you decided to carry on past that checkpoint, past 12, then you will be disqualified from the event and you will not receive a finisher result. There will also be a medic there, and there will be some emergency water supplies. However, be aware of how much water you need per hour going uphill and how much food you need, and please take the appropriate amount. Okay, so you've checked in at the checkpoint. It's earlier than 12. You are free to carry on to the top. From here, it gets a little bit narrower, a little bit more rugged, and then at the 8.4 kilometer point, dips down slightly before kicking up again. That last kick up is a bit steeper and there's a bit of loose terrain under your feet. So be aware if there's people behind you and give them a shout if you kick a rock off. Make your way up to the summit. The checkpoint is just on your side of the cairn. If you're coming in from the wrong side, then you've gone wrong, and we don't know what's happened there. Check in with the marshals at the top. Your race tag will go over the map, so the live time will show that you've got to the top. There is water up there. again, for emergency use. Take a moment, have a look at the view, take a breath, spin round, and then head back down towards the next transition. Same route back down the mountain. Being aware of people coming up. So just be careful when you're trying to pass people. You'll only save a couple of seconds if you try and pass someone in a dodgy section, rather than just waiting a few moments, and the consequences of having a bit of an accident or a wobble, it's just not worth it. Towards the bottom of the descent, you will pick up the signs, the rock signs, which will direct you off to the right, back through the farm and into T3. Reverse process before, into the tent, collect your bag, change over gear. There'll be a marshal there to take the bag from you this time, and then that bag will be transported to the race start later in the day for you to collect when you go and collect your bike. Yeah, you then go from the tent, pick up any rations, any food or water that you need for the return leg on the bike, put your helmet on, then touch your bike, and then you can return the same route back down to the lake. Bearing in mind, you've still got the cattle grids, and there are still the marshals on the course at certain junctions, but not all roundabouts. I think at this point, I'll just mention that at any time from anywhere in the race, if you see another athlete who is in a bit of bother, please do take the time to stop and to check and to see if there's anything that you can do to help them. Usually people will just be stopping to take a breath, but it's a race for a few. It's a challenge for most people. And we all want to get out and get back safely, and then all have a drink at the end and celebrate an amazing day. So that was a quick interjection. You're back on the bike. There is a water refill point at 20 kilometers on the return leg of the bike. And then it's all the way back into T1, which has become T4, where Dave will walk you through the rest of the race. Dave.
Right, guys, so coming back into T4, just take it easy as you come down the hill into the Stoller campus. It gets quite narrow, so you don't want to come screaming down that road and then have to put the brakes on real hard so you don't cross the dismount line. Okay, so just be wary of that. It could be a wee bit busier at that point with more athletes coming in, so you might not be the only one coming into the dismount line, so just be aware of that. Off the bike before the dismount line, run with your bike to your rack point, just as you did at T2 at Scafell Pike. Don't take your helmet off until the bike is racked. I know we keep going on about the helmet, but it is the key rule. Okay, so once you've racked the bike, then you can take your helmet off and then grab your second pair of trainers, or if you've taken your trainers back from the hill stage, then pop them on. You will need them because it is a trail route. The run route then takes you out from transition back towards the start of the swim. Then you'll head north up the shoreline, and then it's an anti-clockwise loop back round to the Stoller campus and the finish. As it is running through the woods, make sure that you're actually looking out for obstacles, roots, rocks. Your legs are going to be pretty tired at this point, so try to pick the feet up just to avoid tripping over. It's easy to do, even when you're feeling fresh, a root can catch you out. So yeah, just take the time to sort of pay attention to what you're running through. You don't want to fall at this point in the race because you're almost home. And then just enjoy the final 1 kilometer, because ultimately it's just a kilometer and everything that you've done so far. So enjoy it, smile, and yeah, make sure you're looking happy for the camera as you cross the line. Don't be paying attention to your watch or anything like that. Eyes up and smile for the cameras, because that's what, if you get your finishers picked, then that's what matters, isn't it? And once you're finished, grab your tag and pop it in the red box. And there will be marshals there to remind you of it. But if you don't, then you won't get your finisher's time. and I think there might even be a fine for not handing in the tag. Once you finish the race, enjoy it. Try clear the finish zone so that you're not getting in the way for other athletes, and then keep your race number with you so that you can collect your bike. And transition closes at 6. Not that you'll be really worrying about that at this point because you've just finished the race, but gotta let you know. Yeah, and enjoy it. Just keep smiling and just think, epic, look what you've just done. So yeah, really enjoy the race, guys. And yeah, just keep smiling. That's all I can say. JB, anything else?
Yeah, I've got a couple other points. At any point, if you decide that today is not your day, or the day when we do it is not your day, we'd like you to make every effort to inform the Race HQ via either the telephone number that should be in your mobile phone, or via a marshal. And then when you've dropped out, make your way back to the start finish area to return your equipment and to pick up your other bits and bobs. On the bike, it's 111 kilometers in total. So that route on the bike on the way back, you might be getting a bit wrecked. So if at any time you feel a bit dodgy, a bit unsure of yourself, just pull in, get a drink, take a few minutes, refuel, and then carry on again when you are fit to do so. Look out for the other athletes. It's going to be an amazing day, but we're there just to take care of each other as well. Say thank you to all the marshals. I do this on every race. I'll say thank you to every marshal because we can't do it without them. And I think we've covered most of the points that we wanted to highlight to you. Again, take time, go and get a tea or a coffee, sit down, read your race instructions front to back. If you have any questions, don't call us. Call the Race HQ people. They have got all of the answers there for you. I think that's all we've got at this time. Have an amazing day. Have an amazing race. Well done. Congratulations for doing all the training. Race day is just the cherry on top. So wish you all the best. That's all from me.